What is going on with you, YouTube? This is Regular Dave coming at you with another video. Yes, it's that time of year, man. That time of year we're on the cusp of 2 EA football games being released, NCAA 13 and Madden 13. What that means for me, my sub boxes fill up with EA football debate videos, man. And this has been going on since I've been on YouTube the last couple years. It's entertained me quite a bit, man, to just hear people's opinion on EA football and what it's about. Now, every now and then I like to throw my name into the hat and get into the fray and talk about it as well. That's what this video is about. The original video, man, I made, the footage that you're gonna see actually was showing Madden 13 run animations versus real life run animations, but it was kind of negative. And if you know my temperament, that's not my channel, man. I don't like to be negative. I can criticize something, but I like to keep it constructive. And at the end of the day, when I went back and looked at this video, I said, no, man, I'm not going to put that up. Maybe one day I'll put it up. Who knows? But I'm going to just talk over it. You can see, man, you'll be able to conclude everything I was saying from watching this video, showing how bad the run animations are in Madden. But that is not the topic of today, man. I don't do response videos. I just, make videos of things I believe to be true. Now, I'm gonna talk about an issue, man. Every time I hear it, I kind of cringe and kind of just say, nah, this is not, I'm gonna just leave it alone. But no, this is wrong. And this is, even people who are debating on EA football still share this belief. And actually, I've been guilty of saying this a lot of times. And in hindsight, I feel like I'm wrong now. This is what I'm talking about, man. It's Madden and NCAA simulation football. It's universally just agreed that EA football is not simulation football. But every time I hear somebody say it, it just doesn't settle well with me. And every time I've said it, it doesn't settle well. And I just go back to thinking like, yo, if this is not simulating football, then what is it doing? What is it simulating? What is it? I've heard, and this video literally is not going at one person. Over the last couple of years, you don't even know the amount of people and videos I've watched on EA football. So this is not going at one person. This is an accumulation of everything I've heard. But I've heard it's not simulation because it doesn't have run animations and foot planting. I heard it's not simulation because it doesn't have offensive line and defensive line interactions. It doesn't have offensive or defensive back and wide receiver animations. It doesn't show acceleration and speed. It doesn't show agility. I've heard all of that. The problem I have is that it does have everything that people name. And just hear me out before you thumb this down. It does have everything that everybody's named, right? It does have all of that. It just doesn't do a very good job at it. So my conclusion is this game is, every time I hear it, everybody says it. Madden is not simulation. It's not sim. It's like people are literally making the sim has a definition, right? You know that you're not just allowed to make up a definition of what is sim. You can't say what a simulation of something is. It has a definition, right? Is it 11 on 11? Yes. Does it have is there a ball involved? Yes. Is it tackling? Yes. Running? Yes. Jumping? Yes. It's simulating football. Now the debate is, does it do a good job of simulating football? That is a more logical debate than what people have been going back and forth about and saying. I've heard a ton of things about what it doesn't do. Now, does it have run animations? Yeah, it does. And this video is showing like how Ted Ginn has to plant his left foot so he can make his cut to go right. Like, that's what this video is showing. Now, can you change direction in Madden? Yeah. Is there foot planting to do it most of the time? No. But they're simulating football. They are simulating it. It's doing a very unrealistic job at it at a lot of areas. But it is a simulation. And I feel like this community is chasing its tail, basically. I mean, we have been debating the same thing for how many years? You know what I mean? Like, when do you say we agree to disagree and just keep it pushing? But at the end of the day, man, I think one side needs to say, yo, this game is a simulation, but it's a horrible simulation. It's awful. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. And I hope we get a better game. And the other side has to say, yeah, it's simulating football, and it doesn't have everything I want in it, but it's fun. It has enough things to make the game fun to me, And you know what? It reaches my threshold of what can be fun in a football game. So yeah, if I could have fun, I would definitely recommend it to you. And that should be the end of it. You can't argue with any of those. But when you start debating on something that really doesn't even hold water of is the game sim, and that's just showing Ted Ginn, like, his back is, he looks like he's exerting force. Here he's in the same position from when he started running to when he's at top speed. Like, the game doesn't animate to show top speed, but it does show speed. It does show acceleration. It just does a god awful job at showing speed and acceleration. So the bickering back and forth is like you're wasting your time because you're arguing opinions basically. And I liken it to this, man. This is pretty much what the arguments have been in the football in the I don't even want to say sim football community. I want to call it the realistic football community. This is basically the same type of argument. Like, hey, look at old girl over there. I think she's cute. And the guy next to you says, nah, she's ugly. and you're like, nah, man, she's cute. Look, her eyes and her nose, are symmetrical. She's fine. And the other guy's like, nah, man, she's nasty. She's ugly. Like, you can't convince him that she's cute, and he can't convince you that she's ugly. What you guys can agree on is that it's a girl, right? You guys could both do that. You guys both agree it's a girl, right? It's a woman, female, sweet and supple. All right, I'm not gonna go into that, but it's all right. You can agree on that. But I feel like people are even debating and arguing if it's a girl. It's a sim football game. It's a simulation of football. It's been a unrealistic, bad simulation of football. My personal opinion is getting better. Yeah, okay. I don't think you can really argue that. I think it's on the road to be more realistic, but no, it's not a very realistic game. Too many elements are done incorrectly to make it a realistic game. But when you look at the definition of sim, does it say accurately depicts certain amount of characteristics with the game? No, it doesn't say how accurate it has to be for it to be a simulation. It just has to show them. And this is NCAA with the zigzag running. It's showing change of direction. It's just doing a horrible job at showing change of direction. But it does have, you can change direction. So yeah, man, this is what the sim, the quote unquote sim, and this is not going at anybody, because you know what, I mess with everybody, like any people I don't even agree with. I watch their videos and thumb them up. You know what I mean? Like, even if I don't agree, I don't care. But this is what people, because I've done this before on many, I do this probably every other day. Driving in a car, man, I love hip hop. I turn on the radio, man, I don't feel like plugging in my phone or whatever. You hear someone on the radio, you be like, man, this ain't hip hop. You know what I mean? You hear Tyga on the radio making that. I'm like, this is not hip hop. You know what I mean? I got my condo around my neck, all that. I'm like, this is not hip hop. Because I like Mos Def and Talib Kweli and The Roots and Jay Dilla and all that stuff. But honestly, it is hip hop. You can't, it's just not hip hop that I like. I feel like that's what the sim community is doing. They're even arguing that it's not football. It is football. It's just not football that's realistic that you like. And I'm like, this is not music that shows that, I'm listening to radio. What I should say is, I can't say it's not hip hop. I can just say, I don't think these dudes got talent, or I don't like it, or, you know what I mean? It's not the form of hip hop I like. But at this point, the community, after this many years, we're still arguing if it's hip hop, if it's football. And you know what? That's an argument that doesn't even, is it sim football? That's an argument to me that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Hopefully that analogy made a little sense, but that's just like, you know what, man, there's like, I've literally every probably Madden or NCAA video I've made, somebody in the comments have talked about I'm a sim head or sim this, sim that. That's the same thing with hip hop. Like I said, I've been saying for years, I'm a hip hop head because I listen to Mos Def and Talib Kweli and whoever else is underground. That's just, that we made these rules for what a hip hop head is, even though there's no definition. We've taken hip hop, which does have a definition, and given it our own definition. And that's what people are doing with simulation. Like, because if you listen to trill music, chopped and screwed music, the Black Eyed Peas, you listen to hip hop, you could call yourself a hip hop head too. You would be no more wrong than the person that listens to underground hip hop. And if I say if I say I'm a sim head and I play Madden, I I am a sim head. Just because I play a game and I have a different threshold of what I find enjoyable does not mean I don't know what should be in the game. People take that, like, if you enjoy Madden, you don't know football. I can tell you everything. I might not be able to express it as eloquently as you can, but I can tell you everything that should be in Madden. So just because I can have fun and say, yeah, you know what, it's mindless fun, I can waste my time or whatever throughout the day when I'm not doing nothing, and you know what, stays from spending money out somewhere or something and enjoy Madden, that doesn't mean that I don't know what's realistic and I don't know what should be in the game. But people will make you believe that if you play Madden, you don't like sim football, and you don't like, well, I'm not gonna even use that term. See, I'm guilty of it. You don't like realistic football. I wish the game was 100 times more realistic than what it was, and that's what I'm pulling for. But hopefully this community can band together for as popular as American football is in this country. This community is relatively very small. For as many people that play video game football, and I think it has to do with the community chasing its tail and debating the same thing back and forth, which doesn't even make sense. This community should be so, like, beyond huge. Like, the fact that we're just now being heard really, like, shows how small the community still is. Like, that's an accomplishment of being heard, but that should have happened a long time ago. But we basically kind of held ourselves back a little bit. This community should be, you know what I mean, at least 100K deep. And it's only a couple thousand deep for the core of the EA Sports, like, you know, people who want realistic football. It's not very deep at all. But I know, man. I know y'all done thumbed this video down because you guys are like, Regular Dave, yo, man, you must be on bath salts and crack cocaine. Yo, this is not simulation football. But I feel like if you say it's not sim football, you making up a definition of what simulation is, which is not the actual definition. But maybe I am on crack. No, I'm not. I'm not on crack cocaine. But sound off in the comments, man. I know these comments are going to be straight jumping. I know these comments are going to be popping off. I'm going to be peeping in, seeing what y'all saying, arguing. As long as y'all don't get all belligerent and whatnot, you know what I mean? You know I'll hit you guys back. But just had to get my opinion out there, man. And this video is not an individual shot at absolutely anyone. I actually dig everybody. You know what I mean? Everybody's voice needs to be heard. And whether we agree or disagree, still go ahead and state your things. But I just want people to do a little bit more constructively so it can actually mean something and help out with the situation. But that was my voice for a couple minutes, man. Hopefully I didn't bore you guys too much, and I'll get at you another time. Peace.